able to control a computer with your mind is one of the few things that throughout my entire life I thought would be so cool. I mean, just think about the implications that you could have with this, right? Being able to play video games with your mind, meaning that you react as fast as your mind reacts. Being able to completely search anything on Google just by thinking about it. Being able to go to a separate country and being able to instantly translate a language into the language that you speak, whether that's English to Chinese or Chinese to Russian or whatever it is. I just think it's such a cool implication. Now, is it a little scary? Obviously, it was something that would have to be inserted into your brain. Yeah, 100%. But we are already seeing crazy advancements into this. And I am like, a lot of technology scares me, but it also excites me at times, especially when we talk about things like the Neuralink. Now, if you don't know what the Neuralink is, it's basically exactly what I just explained, where they do a surgery where they put a chip inside of your brain. And what this allows you to do is essentially to have Bluetooth in your brain to allow you to connect to robotic arms, to computers, to Spotify, things of that sort. Now, this isn't 100% all the implications I said yet, where you would have a HUD, you'd be able to search things on Google in your brain and things of that sort, but it's a start. And I think that's something that's just kind of magical with the Neuralink. And I think one of the best ways that we are seeing this currently implemented is with people that lose control of their limbs, whether it's through an accident or maybe they were born that way where they can't move their arms, they can't move their legs, and they are still able to live their lives. And one thing I do want to preference before we get too far into this is yes, I do talk on this channel about how robots and things of that sort are scary if we basically don't have some way to control them. But I think this way where we can control it is good. I 100% do. And let's talk about it a little bit more. So, Neuralink waitlist explodes. Hold on, I'm gonna move my camera a little bit so that way you guys can see it better. Boom. Okay. Neuralink waitlist explodes as patient feeds himself with mind-controlled robot arm. A man with ALS has gone viral after using a robotic arm controlled by his brain chip to feed himself, and the Neuralink waitlist is skyrocketing. The brain implant converts brain signals into Bluetooth-based commands, and Neuralink first made headlines when its initial patient was able to use a chip to browse the web and play games, using only their mind. Elon Musk has previously said the ultimate goal is to restore mobility and independence with people with severe physical disabilities, even integrating the tech with Tesla's Optimus robot. Sorry. So this is the video. Go ahead, and watch it. We'll mute it. But so it picks up the spoon fully with his mind, like you can kind of see his eye fluctuations and stuff like that. And all he has to do is open his mouth. And I genuinely, like, obviously this is the very, very beginning stages of this, like, in general, but I think this is one of the best inventions ever created by mankind. For once, not only are we creating an invention that, if used correctly, I'm not even saying if you like Elon Musk or anything, just the invention by itself, right? If used correctly, will help the world on a mass scale. Not only will it give people with disabilities back some of their freedoms, but it will also, if it starts getting implemented in the ways I kind of talked about at the beginning of this video, it will also help with people getting to know each other, with people being able to understand cultures better, with people being nicer to one another. Now, obviously, humankind is a little whack, and maybe that's a little bit wishful thinking on my part, but I feel like there's so many people who want to understand other cultures, want to understand other people, want to understand the world in a more in-depth way that this could be used for. And I think that obviously the technology needs to become a little bit more advanced, the robot arms need to be a little bit better, but this also kind of goes with what we talked about a couple days ago on the channel, which is AI robots are scary. And I am still a firm believer that AI robots are 100% scary. Yeah, 100%. But imagine if you gave someone who has a Neuralink and is disabled a full AI robot that was kind of like their caretaker, and they could also connect Bluetooth to it to potentially be able to um, basically do things in their day to day life that they wouldn't be able to do if they didn't have the Neuralink, if they didn't have that robot. And I think when you get into implications like that, you get into this level of this is a absolute W for society as a whole, for society, for the world, for everything. Because being able to give liberties and give more freedoms as a overall to the world populace, I think is really, really important. And how would I like to see the Neuralink like improved in the future? Well, first off, we got to improve the arms and stuff like that because if you're gonna help with disabled people, I think we should make it as easy for disabled people as possible. I think that the current robot arm that we saw in that video, right, this robot arm here is a little clunky, and this requires someone or something to basically maintain it, like just 100%, because it's just a hydraulic arm. Hydraulic arms wear out all the time. I mean, it's why people buy new microphones. It's why people have to do maintenance at like hydraulic press plants, like all that stuff, right? It's the wear and tear on it. So you still have to have somebody come by and work on it. But that's kind of where my idea where what if they add AI robots that you can also have the Neuralink to? Because realistically, a AI robot should almost be able to work on itself. Maybe like not in depth, but for stuff like replacing its arm with like a new part, you shouldn't need someone to come and do maintenance on it once it gets advanced enough. And this is one of those things as well that like it'll go even crazier in the future. I mean, we already have people who have been playing video games with this, and the guy who played video games with this, he played CS:GO, and he physically said that it was like he had aimbot because it essentially the game reacted as fast as he could react in real life. So like usually how it works when you play a video game, right? Is you see something and then the brain has to send a signal to your hand to react to that thing. And it's pretty fast in general, but it's maybe a second delay, you know? But with this, from what the guy said, is like once you think it, you're there. So if you see something, instead of having to reach, move your mouse and everything, it's just and boom, you're already kind of on track to be where you want to be. And going even further and deeper into the future of this, I think what would be really cool is at some point we are going to get realistic enough simulations where you how do I put it? Realistic enough simulations where you can taste and feel and smell. Like we're already talking about a scientific advancement where we can send smells through the phone. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but we might make a video on it. But yeah, people are talking about sending smells through a phone. So if we can get to the point where we can send smells through a phone, that means we could probably send taste through a phone. That means we could, and we can already send sound. So imagine someone who is paralyzed completely from the neck down, has a Neuralink, has an AI robot that they can connect their Neuralink to, and the robot has all of the features of sound, taste, smell, like everything. And with it, they're able to actually go on basically a walk outside and almost simulate that they are able to go out and live their life like normal. Outside of like, yeah, there'll be like that little bit of an awkward interaction where they can't do much. But like, let's say they just want to, they want to be able to go to the grocery store, something different that they wouldn't be able to do normally. I think that's just such a beautiful thing to think about, being able to literally and actually give back to people in need. And then once it gets even more advanced, potentially, I mean, putting humans on a pedestal where they're as intelligent as AI. I think that's one of the things that scares me about AI in itself, not to go too far off topic, but is AI is 10 times more intelligent than any human on the planet right now because they have infinite information. They essentially can search the web in a millisecond, and by the time you learn the information, they already have it in their system. But imagine if humans had that same thing. If the Neuralink allows humans to advance to the point where they have every single thing of knowledge essentially at their fingertips. Now, will there have to be laws and regulations behind this? 100%. Uh, but it'd be no different than really the laws we have now, you know? It's like you can go on Google and you can search some nefarious things on Google 100%, like how to make some crazy, wacky stuff. But it doesn't mean it's not against the law. And it doesn't mean you're not going to get flagged for it. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the Neuralink. Are you guys like me? Like maybe you're like, man, this is actually something really, really cool, and you're glad that this is actually a scientific advancement, or maybe it scares you a little bit, or maybe a little bit both, or maybe the some of you are just learning about. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful night. Peace.